ahead of Laceration, but Laceration did get her hips out in front of the pack first, and so is in control of the clock with Lead Jammer. But it looks like she's going to wait until the last second, just in time. She called that one very close, Pants.
Miss Saye does the universal gesture of, come on, ref, give me some points. She was very close to cleaning up a couple of points there, at least there. But yes, the Jammer for Varsity just managing to call off in time.
She was pushing her luck just a little bit, but it paid off. The score remains 32-30. Varsity still in the lead. Looks like we have a 007 Block the Pussy jamming for Varsity against Snooty Fox, number 911. Block the Pussy up front against a 3-wall. Crusher Ramon on point, now drops back. It's going to be Block the Pussy out front and going to the penalty box. So that means Snooty Fox's Lead Jammer and on the Murder City's first power jam. Yeah.
But yes, she gets another one and very easily gets through there to the side. This Dodge Charger comes back in out of the penalty box as well.
First scoring pass is a grand slam. Dodge Charger in motion, breaking up the wall, but it continues the passive offense for Murder City. Second grand slam for Snooty Fox. And she looks over, Block the Pussy just leaving the penalty box, so Snooty Fox opting to call off the jam. And
I think it was also because one of her skates, the laces had come undone. So that's quite dangerous as well to try skating with some loose skates, potentially getting caught up in the wheels there. So opting for safety there, calling off the jam and hitting the sideline rather than see the jam through to completion. Nice bit of pat on the backs there from Sam Jamwich, as well as the captain for the Varsity, Red Hot Chili Pepper, just getting things underway. It's good to see that they're keeping things friendly, even though the on-track action is pretty intense.
Spanky of Varsity was in the penalty box at the start of the jam, but she returned, so it's back to 5-on-5. Oh, I spoke too soon. Terror Smackdoll of Varsity going to the box, and Spanky returning to the box as well.
And it looks like the box is filling up. As the box is just getting chockers already.
Before the words were out of my mouth. The empty penalty box. Here. I mean, no, the box is full.
The referees are on the ground. The players are everywhere. Everyone's doing their bit to keep the track clean, which is nice, but it's made for another power jam. So
Varsity with a full penalty box. They've got their jammer in there, Red Hot Chili Pepper. So the only skaters on the track right now. That is Beverly Bone Crusher, and
they're right over the other side of the track. It's a little bit hard to see.
I believe that is Little Red, the other blocker. But Terror Smackdoll getting back onto the track, making it, and Spanky coming back in. That's those 30-second penalties for you. They're back almost before you know it.
If you're new to roller derby this year, the penalties are only 30 seconds long, so it does mean power jams are much shorter, as well as penalties in general. And it does make for a much more exciting brand of derby that we're seeing these days.
Another big jam for Murder City, capitalizing on that power jam. 55 points now for Murder City in the black against 32 points for Varsity. They have not scored, and I believe there's been 3 jams. Laceration, number 0, jamming for Varsity. On the outside, runs into Crusher Ramon and Daisy Wallbanger. Now Crusher Ramon, single point of contact. No, Brickety Smack gets in front. Tries to stay in front, comes across with a hip check, but Laceration absorbs it and keeps moving on. Gets Lead Jammer for Varsity.
Mustache making it through into the and chasing down the jammer there.
Laceration just shrugs off a hip check from Crusher Ramon, completes the pass. 4 points for Varsity and 0 for Murder City.
Laceration doing the right thing there, getting the points, calling off the jam quickly before the jammer for Murder City can get anywhere near the pack. Looks like we've got a pivot line start.
What?
Is that what we call it? That's what we call it. We're going back to old school derby now. Just, it's Throwback Sunday.
They seem confused. Block the Pussy versus Sam Jamwich. Sam Jamwich, the Murder City Jammer, delving into a thick pile of varsity skaters and coming out clean, but just getting caught by Tara Smackdoll. But Tara Smackdoll stepping out of bounds as well. Sam Jamwich comes out clean. Block the Pussy, the varsity Jammer, gets a penalty. It's going to be yet another power jam. Varsity just giving up the power jams like they're candy.
Blocked a Pussy coming past the scorer's bench, giving another universal signal, this time to shake the head. I can't believe I got called for that.
Sam Jamwich calling off the jam. We're just going to settle for one scoring pass. Brings them up to 60. Varsity at 36.
Looks like the Sheriff of Naughty Slams is coming over to have a bit of word with the refs on behalf of the varsity team. Just checking things out.
Well, I think you might want to compliment him on his short socks.
They're very pretty.
They show off his ankles.
And we're underway for the next jam.
All right. Well, it looks like Sheriff of Naughty Slam is sorted out. So we've got Snooty Fox once again, as predicted, jammer for Murder City. Quickly, she gets the lead jammer now on her first scoring pass. And just as quickly through the pack. Just had ran into a little bit of traffic in turn one, but comes through clean, a grand slam.
Blocked the Pussy's back on the track and trying to make her way around the outside for her initial pass.
Mustache and Miss Saya making contact. Miss Saya, last point of contact. Blocked the Pussy, though, just edging her way past. Miss Saya putting up a heck of a fight, but Blocked the Pussy's only going to complete her initial pass. And Snooty Fox is going to get another 4. That's a 9-point jam for Murder City, bringing them to 69 points, 36 for Varsity, with 4 minutes remaining in the first half.
It's my favorite number.
Which one?
36.
Yes. Now, keep in mind, we are having these are 40-minute games, so 20-minute halves. In case you're wondering why the time has gone down a little bit quicker than you might be used to. Fresh jammer for Murder City, Ellie Bean taking the line against Laceration, number 0. You were saying?
That's quite all right. I was going to say that Ellie Bean is actually a graduate of the Little Adelaide Rollers, the underage league here that's in Adelaide, the under-18s. This is her second year in the big leagues now and proving to be quite a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, she's got a lot of speed, but doesn't make it around in time. Laceration calling off the jam for 3.
To want to acknowledge Little Adelaide Rollers. They are actually one of the sponsors of the TGSS2014. Their motto is underage with Derby Rage. And certainly if you're interested, you've got kids or you're under 18 yourself, have a look around in your city. There may be a league for you.
Clock at 2 minutes 50 seconds in the first half as the first whistle blows. Spanky, number 18, jamming for Varsity in the gray. Runs against a 3-wall at the front. Actually, 3-wall in Delta formation. Gets around Genocide. A side swipe from Dodge Charger. Dodges around Miss Saya. Completes the pass for lead jammer. Now, I think Varsity
you
is
are
actually
anticipating it a little bit there.
maybe.
Snooty Fox has picked up a penalty for use of the forearm, so she's in the box for her 30 seconds. Has a chance to think about it. And Varsity are in the power jam.
That is right. Now, I think I'm not positive about this, but I think Varsity may actually have gotten more lead jammers than Murder City in this game. However, they've given up way more power jammers.
Well, just look at this. Look at this. The blockers for Murder City.
A bit too persistent, but cutting the track. Now, this is interesting because Spanky actually cut the track on a skater who was out of play. The skater, when she cut the track, the skater she passed was out of play, and in fact, I believe got sent to the penalty box for that out of play. However, it
has to be called the way that it's seen. So
things get very chaotic. It's very difficult for the referees to be aware of everything that's going on. And also keep in mind, we're looking at it from our perspective.
That's right.
And it's sometimes it isn't actually the way it seems from our perspective on the track. And
certainly the refs are a lot closer than we are, so they can see things going on. Another skater for Varsity hits the penalty box as the jammer comes back. Spanky makes her way back to the back of the pack and needs to go through once more.
Even if whether that was the right call or not, that damage is done. Spanky did spend the 30 seconds in the penalty box, and we've got a grand slam for Murder City. But that is the chaos that is roller derby. You can't see everything at once, especially when you're right up close to the action.
Messiah doing a big block on Spanky to get her out of play and moving to the back of the pack, keeping Spanky out of any sort of idea of scoring position at all. The Sheriff of Nottingham is back to have a little, Naughty Slams I should say, is back to have a chat with the refs, just to clarify perhaps the ruling there. Another universal signal of I can't believe it, and a shake of the head as he heads back to the bench.
Well, we don't have information on exactly what that consultation was about, but if we do find out more, then we will certainly get back to you. Right now, Varsity putting up a fresh jammer. That's Wickedly Wild, number 43 in the gray, jamming for the first time for Varsity against Ellie Bean, jamming for the second time. The graduate of Junior Roller Derby here in Adelaide. Adelaide.
I don't know what Australian accent you're putting on, mate, but it's a new one to me.
Adelaide? Crikey. Barbie. Shrimps on the Barbie.
Go back to your day job, Bulldog. That's all I'm going to say about that
one. You're mean. Wickedly Wild. Wickedly Wild completing her initial pass. But Varsity on another power jam.
Yep, looks like Ellie Bean did something naughty while we were teasing each other and went to the box for her troubles.
But Wickedly Wild now, forced out of bounds by a last-ditch shoulder from Mustache, and now Mustache dropping back very far.
Wickedly Wild just has to call it off. There's nothing much she could do as Mustache made her way back to the pack. As we are now at half-time, and the score is 74-52. Murder City are in the lead, and Varsity are certainly not far behind. It's certainly a lot closer than it looks on the scoreboard at the moment, wouldn't you say, Bulldog?
Absolutely. Well, Varsity had a nice push towards the end. They were over 30 points behind at about 5 minutes remaining in the first half, but they did have a nice push. Now only 22 points behind, and that's well within the distance of a good solid power jam or two.
Absolutely, and we're looking forward to another second half, or a second half of great derby action here. Stick around. We'll be back in just a few minutes' time. And we're back as we listen to the dulcet tones of Bulldog trying to get his vocal cords and tongue around the Australian accent. We've had some fun trying to teach him how to say the city names during halftime.
Also, I discovered it's prawns on the babby.
That's right. We don't have shrimp here. Thank you. All right. The players are completing their safety check dance for the refs, which is very kind of them to do that. The refs love a good show. And we're all getting set to line up here for the start of the second half if you're just joining us here. Just before we get underway and we get the first people out for the first jam, we'd like to take a little bit of time to mention some other of our wonderful sponsors here. We have Rydell, who provide us with Rydell skates, unmatched quality, unmatched performance. And they've been around for a long time. They started in 1945, so they certainly have the experience at making top quality skates for our skaters for a very long time. Also, we'd like to take the opportunity just to say thanks to BSS Audio Visual. They're the people who have provided us with all of our equipment and enabled us to get online to provide you with the footage and the audio that you're seeing today. So we would like to make special mention of them as well. While we're here, we'd also like to just also say thanks to Isogenics. Isogenics is a complete and simple system of nutritional cleansing. They sponsor a couple of our Olympic gold athletes in Australia, Natalie Cook and Jana Pittman. And they use it to lose body fat and gain lean muscle and boost performance. Bulldog, you and I need a lifetime supply of this stuff, I think. I know I do, at any rate. Bulldog,
really a concentrated dose right now.
Oh, Miss Sire is doing a little curtsy as she comes up and misses the whistle for the start of the first jam.
Laceration. Doesn't matter. Laceration number 0 for varsity stock. Gets around Nikki Napalm, completing her initial pass, but Miss Saya is already lead jammer. Now hits the pack on her first scoring pass. Dodges, just skates right past Wickedly Wild. Gets caught up front by Spanky and Red Hot Chili Pepper. And they keep her from getting out of the pack. It's going to be 3 points for Murder City. Very fast off the first in the first jam of the second half.
That's right. If that's a taste of things to come, the girls are going to be absolutely exhausted by the end of this bout. Got Block to Pussy and Ellie Bean lining up at the moment as Slane gets in the way of the desk, so Bulldog can't make the call.
Strategic positions picked up by the referees. But Block to Pussy knocked down by Graveyard Drift and then out of bounds. But Graveyard Drift goes to the box, allows Block to Pussy to come back in. Murder City jammer Ellie Bean sneaking up the inside, runs into Terror Smackdoll, who slams her down to the ground with a shoulder check. And it is a penalty. It looks like a cutting the track penalty on Ellie Bean. It means we have a power jam. In the second jam of the second half, we've got a power jam. Block the Pussy, lead jammer now. Comes in against a 3-wall. Oh. Crusher Ramon squeezing her against Mustache, but she gets through anyway. Grand slam for varsity. 4-on-3 pack advantage. Passive offense from varsity. But no, Terror Smackdoll in motion. Opens up a center lane, knocking Crusher Ramon out of the way. And Block the Pussy able to outrace Mustache around the turn. Second grand slam. 10 points so far for varsity in this jam. This time, Crusher Ramon does get Block the Pussy out of bounds. Block the Pussy comes back in clean. Crusher Ramon putting up a defense on point, but Block the Pussy able to get through the third time. Third grand slam, 15 points for varsity. But Ellie Bean, the jammer for Murder City, now back on the track. And I believe completing her initial pass. But
that's right.
Block the Pussy on scoring pass number 4, this time knocked down by Mustache. And I think Neon Nightstalker and Ellie Bean in the confusion. Ellie Bean finding a wide open, unguarded inside lane. Gets a grand slam as Block the Pussy gets sent to the penalty box on an elbow penalty.
And we've got another power jam again.
So I believe that was the 4th scoring pass for varsity when she got sent to the penalty box. Unless I missed one of them. But Ginger Ale of varsity and Joe Dirt also going to the penalty box. So varsity's defense crumbling and their offense really.
And the box is overflowing with players at the moment.
For briefly, we have one blocker on the track for varsity. That's Beverly Bone Crusher. But time ran out. Ellie Bean wants to go for another pass, but time ran out. Well, I think that I don't know what just happened. Everybody thought that the jam was over, except for Ellie Bean. But I think there might have just been. It's possible there were some whistles from the other track. There are three other tracks with games going on in this building, and there's not a lot separating the two. So it's possible there was just a fourth whistle that we have headphones on.
That's right. We can't really hear, but everyone was sort of looking at each other. Everyone was going, I don't know what's going on.
All right,
so we'll have to see what's going on. But there is a review underway, and the refs are just going to confer and just to work out what happened there during the end of that jam. I did think it was going on for quite a long time. So there was a bit of conferring going on with the score bench here as well, just to see what was happening with the game clock, the jam clock, and just to see what was going on over there. So the refs are making their way over to see us here as well. And we're just going to get the feedback with you as well. So thanks a lot for that. Slinky Malinky, one of our tech people here, just making sure everything is running okay on the video feed. So apologies for the first couple of minutes there of that feed there when we had the Great Southern Slam logo in the middle of the screen. At the moment, all the teams are having a bit of a chat, and the officials are trying to work out what was going on.
All right, yeah, there was a little bit of confusion at the end of that jam, so there was a bit of confusion at the end of that jam. So the jam referees are sorting it out and getting the scores correct, and it looks like that's going to work out a little bit in Murder City's favor. So those last scoring passes did count.
Just letting Bulldog have a chat with the scorer just to work out what was going on there. And the refs are coming back over. Looks like we're going to get underway with the next jam. Just work out the right number of players that everyone needs as well. I think, yep, there are a couple of the varsity members still in the penalty area. And we have two jammers lining up. We have Red Hot Chili Pepper from varsity up against Snooty Fox. A couple of the main feature jammers from the last half there. So what was the story there, Bulldog?
Varsity was mistakenly given lead jammer, so the call-off did not count, but the long story short is it ends up being a 15-15 jam, so a bit of a wash. Just took some time off of the period clock. And hopefully we'll be we won't have any more interference whistles from the other tracks.
I was about to say the penalty box is now clear, but Dodge Charger is now
famous,
put it there.
Famous last words.
It's certainly been a very action-packed round so far, and certainly the teams are racking up a few penalties in the process as well. And we have another pivot line start by the looks coming up here with Laceration and Miss Saya lining up a long way back, and it looks like they'll be taking the running jump into the back of the pack there.
Murder City opening up a little bit of a lead once again, now at 29 points ahead of Varsity. They were at 22 points ahead at the halftime. But now Miss Saya Dodge, getting bounced back and forth, gets past Miss Meow and ahead of Terra Smackdoll, but Laceration, the jammer from Varsity, coming out right behind.
Laceration with the wonderful red glittery mini skirt here. Certainly is
it's red carpet time.
Absolutely, and
it's a Great Southern Slam.
Great. It's a great red flag as well as she skates around.
Who are you wearing?
I'm wearing a Singer sewing machine.
Well, the score now 96-67, and so no score in. The score has not changed. Ellie Bean versus Block the Pussy. Ellie Bean very quick off the line, tremendous acceleration. But speaking of acceleration, Block the Pussy getting around the outside, just on with afterburners at full blast.
Ooh. Ellie Bean suffering a huge knock there from 928 Maleficent Mara.
Cutting the track on Ellie Bean as she comes back in, but does not recycle far enough. And a little bit of celebration from Red Hot Chili Pepper. team captain for varsity, as Block the Pussy comes through. Only 4. She does get that jammer point as well. The jam ref glanced over, saw the opposing jammer in the box, and correctly gave her the jammer ghost point as well. So 5 points on the first scoring pass. Block the Pussy just squeezing ahead, popping out between Dodge Charger and Graveyard Drift to complete her second scoring pass. 10 points so far in this jam.
Goes to show that it doesn't take much for something to happen. A big lead of 40 or 50 points in the past really doesn't mean much nowadays. Ellie Bean's back on the track.
But that's a third Grand Slam for varsity. Block the Pussy calling off the jam, but okay, Ellie Bean is going to be awarded 4 points.
So the Murder City Dolls are now in triple figures, hitting the magic 100, and varsity are not far behind on 82. 18 points is nothing much these days, like we said before. So it's shaping up to be a very close finish here with only just under 13 minutes left.
It looks like an official review requested by varsity. Varsity Derby League, one of the teams from Canberra, the Division 2 team from Canberra.
And we do have the Division 1 team from Canberra in the semis as well, so that's very exciting for them. And it's going to be against Sun State. So just to recap the semi-finals for Division 1 that are going to be on tomorrow, we do have Canberra versus Sun State from Queensland, and Victoria rolled versus Sydney. So it's a battle of capital cities mostly, but it's great to see Sun State as well. They are one of the premier leagues. So just having a chat with Vaderella from the organising committee here in Adelaide, and she's very excited about the matchups here and the possibilities that could happen if certain teams get through. So it's shaping up to be a very exciting semi-final, final and third place playoff for Division 1. Division 2 is anybody's guess. There are a lot of teams competing in Division 2, and the competition is much more even. So like we're seeing in just this first bout, you're in for a treat, Derby fans, because today is really the best day to come and watch. If you're in Adelaide, come down to the Wayville Showgrounds. If you're not in Adelaide, stick around on YouTube. The feeds will be coming through from track 1 and 2 all day. And of course, we'll have the quarterfinals later on this afternoon and into the early evening Adelaide time. Slowly getting themselves sorted out, but the jam ref is still doing his hand signals, so we are still under timeout conditions.
We are in an official review request from varsity. Each team, of course, gets one official review per half.
Is that one successful review, or is it?
Well, I think it's one unsuccessful review, or one successful and one unsuccessful.
Okay.
Yeah, it's.
We also have Ham Malicious and Brickety Smack from Murder City out in the middle, just waiting for some confirmation from the referees.
Yeah, and that's and it's actually further refined by if it is determined that you make an official review and it's determined that it was actually an officiating error that caused it. So, but in fact, usually that's usually when an official review gets upheld, it's because another official had a better angle or saw something that basically a penalty was called. But another official comes forward realizing that a penalty that he saw, a clean action, was actually called as a penalty. It's not always obvious when you see a skater going to the penalty box that what specific action they were sent for, and so that's what usually happens when an official review is successful, when a penalty gets overturned. It's because but that's sometimes considered an officiating error. Other times points were missed, and more frequently if points were missed, such as ghost points, etc., that would be another officiating error. In other words, the official, had he been omniscient, which none of them are, would have given the points. Then it's determined an officiating error, and therefore the official review will be restored. But that can only happen once But now back to the action.
I was going to say,
was
you've done very well, Bulldog, at explaining the rules to us. And now we're back in some action in the meantime. There is Derby going on, I've heard. So it's good to get back in.
Well, Derby, what's that? Oh, Sam Jamwich on a scoring pass comes in, but gets sacked by Wickedly Wild, but scrambles back to her feet and is on her way straight up to the front. Terror Smackdoll, one-on-one with her on point for Varsity. Sam Jamwich is going to dodge to the inside, complete the pass, calls off the jam in time. No points for Joe Dirt, number 08 of Varsity. Now, there was that official review, but did anything happen from it?
I don't think so. We didn't have anyone come over to us to explain what was going on, but whatever it was clarified, and looks like the situation as it was has decided to, that maybe they've decided to let it stand.
Well, I didn't see any change in the penalty box or in the score as a result, so it usually means that it was simply not upheld. But a fast feet from Snooty Fox. Wide open outside lane, and she's lead jammer.
It was like the parting of the Red Sea there from our angle.
And speaking of the parting of the Red Sea, there's the red O. That's Laceration getting through as well. See what I did there?
I see what you did there. It is a fantastic.
It's because her number is O.
And
or
also,
zero.
And also because you're wearing that lovely
red dress. And she's got that lovely sequin red
skirt on there. Yeah. See, I know nothing about women's fashion. I called it a dress. I have no idea.
I think you looking at what you're wearing today, I think you know way more about fashion than I do.
Or way less.
Actually, you're definitely the one that is in the scene. Or at the Great Southern Slam, onesies are de nouveau. I don't know. I just made that up. Is that French?
We'll call it French.
No,
it is onesie. It is onesie Sunday for a lot of the commentators. And I'll have a steak Diane as well.
Good French, man. Oh, but we got to block the pussy coming in. She's facing a 3-wall dodge. Gets to the inside of Candy Rush, but Candy Rush picks her back up again in turn 2. Candy Rush gets pulled off at the end of the engagement zone. A free pass for Block the Pussy and a grand slam for Varsity. But an out of play called on Candy Rush.
Well, there you go. She didn't quite get out in time by the looks of that one. And she takes her place in the penalty box as Block the Pussy picks up 5 points, but she, for what I can see, she appeared to be limping on her skates as far as that was. She was not moving with the usual grace that we've come to see from her. Hopefully she's all right, but she may have picked up there may have been a bit of a stoush in the pack there in that last one, and Block the Pussy may have come off for the worse for wear as a result. So hopefully she's all right. Maybe just get a bit of ice or deep heat onto it, and she'll be right as rain for the next one.
That was a 10-point jam for Varsity, slowly chipping away at this lead. Only 16 points separating them from Murder City with 9.5 minutes to go. Laceration still on the power jam, but Sam Jamwich already standing up in the penalty box, the jammer from Murder City. But there goes Laceration getting out of her initial pass with lead jammer.
Brickety Smack, I think, by the looks of that. No, it's not
Daisy
Smack.
Wallbanger.
Daisy Wallbanger has been called for the penalty and sent off to the box.
Laceration runs into, and there's Brickety Smack. What do you know? Brickety Smack gets a glancing blow with a hip check, but Laceration is going to complete the pass. Sam Jamwich does get out of the penalty box, completes her initial pass, but no points for Murder City, so they remain at 108 points. And, I'm still seeing Varsity at 92, but
one of the refs is doing Jim Packable by the looks of it, getting a nice little serve from the crowd. Well done, Jim.
What did you get on that last?
Jam Ref was double checking with the score tracker, and now there it is, 3 points for Varsity.
So they'll be up on 95 shortly.
That's Snooty Fox with her helmet cover just hanging on in the front. She's lead jammer, though. First out, Red Hot Chili Pepper team captain for Varsity, jamming. Tries to defend against Snooty Fox, but whiffs with the shoulder check and gets knocked out of bounds for her troubles. It's still on her initial pass at the rear of the pack as Snooty Fox gets through for a grand slam.
And the blockers from Murder City are just absolutely laying it down on Red Hot Chili Pepper at this point.
Trying to prevent Varsity from continuing their momentum. They were closing up the lead. But two-wall, Daisy Wallbanger and Messiah holding back Red Hot Chili Pepper, but Red Hot Chili Pepper bulldozing ahead and finally getting out of her initial pass. But she had to work for every single step. The Murder City blockers were absolutely stellar in that jam.
Absolutely, and it's one of the things that Murder City I know have worked very hard on improving is their defense, or as they say in America, defense. But
or just fences in general.
Yeah.
Fence.
Borders of properties and so forth. So yes, it's something that they've worked very hard on improving. And one of the advantages of being in a city like Adelaide, where there are 3 different leagues available to stoush with, to scrimmage with, is that you get to try your luck against a whole bunch of different teams and to improve your skills there. We have Derby.
Sam Jamwich getting around Spanky and Wickedly Wild, completing her initial pass, but blocked the pussy. Following closely behind, well, about a quarter lap. Genocide, I'm not sure where she was coming from. She got knocked out of bounds, I believe. And but out of play right now. Blocked the pussy, just reaching the back of the pack, but not going to get in. No points scored for Varsity. 2 points picked up by Sam Jamwich.
And we could see Sam Jamwich very clearly indicating to her blockers exactly what she wanted them to do. There was a lot of dodging and weaving and confusion going on in the pack there, and that gave Sam Jamwich the opportunity to squeeze past and get a couple of points before she called it off.
24 points now separating the two teams. It's just under 6 minutes remaining. Miss Saya jamming number 1111. She's jamming for Murder City against Zero Laceration in the gray for Varsity, but Miss Saya slips right past Little Red. Last line of defense for Varsity, claims lead jammer. Laceration getting knocked down by Crusher Ramon. Now runs into a 3-wall, Dodge Charger and a Graveyard Drift. Falling down out of bounds, and Dodge Charger unable to reel her back in. Laceration completing her initial pass just ahead of Miss Saya, the Murder City jammer, who completes her first scoring pass. Now just pacing Laceration, watching her, and she's going to go for it. She's not. It looked like she was just waiting to call it off, but instead decides to go for another scoring pass. This time she's going to get a grand slam. She gets that jammer lap point. Laceration now just trying to get 4. Runs into Crusher Ramon and just edges right by her, gets the 4. But now we've got 9 points already for Murder City.
And there goes
Miss Saya coming through a 3rd time. 4 more points. That's 13 points for Murder City. And it looks like she's just going to go ahead and run this entire 2-minute jam.
She has a lot of faith in her blockers to do the job. And Messiah also is, look at that. She just is working her way through very quickly.
And it is paying off. Now that was Tara Smackdoll making contact, but gets an elbow penalty. Miss Saya coming through yet
right
again.
In the midsection there of Miss Saya. Certainly sending a message.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, initially signaling 4, but adjusted it to 5. She gets the jammer lap point. I believe that is 18 points so far for Murder City, so definitely paying off. Laceration only completing her 2nd scoring pass for 8.
Miss Saya looks over the bench and says, "Can I call it off now, please?" And then gets the go-ahead from her bench to call it off. You could see the smile on her face of saying, "Oh, thank goodness that's over." It was a tough jam there for Miss Saya. She certainly has the skills to pay the bills, but she's certainly picked up a couple of nice big elbows in there for her trouble as well. And Miss Saya is off to the penalty box. So it's going to start off with the power jam for the Varsity with Joe Dirt for the next one. The blockers for Murder City are just conferring, working out their strategy to get things started here, and we are also under an official's timeout as well.
So that was an 8-point jam for a Varsity and a 22-point jam for Murder City. It was started out 119 to 95 in the previous jam. Now 141 for Murder City, 103 for Varsity, and now opening up the largest lead so far of the game, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're pretty much right there, Bulldog.
This is all back of the brain envelope calculations here, but less than 4 minutes remaining in the game.
That's
but
right.
It's a power jam for Varsity. Joe Dirt on the line, I believe only the 3rd time for Varsity. gets the lead jammer. And there's going to be a full 30-second power jam. Miss Saya went to the penalty box in between jams, but now Joe Dirt slamming into Mustache. Both skaters falling down. And Miss Mustache, keep wanting to say Miss Dash, but Mustache getting sent to the penalty box. Grand slam for Joe Dirt.
Looks like it was for a bit of insubordination as well. So she's laid down a bit of the.
That is a double penalty. It may have been because she didn't go to the penalty box immediately, but damage to Varsity, a cutting the track penalty on Joe Dirt. That means that on her second scoring pass, she's not going to complete that yet. Miss Saya now on her initial pass.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, just double check in there. But she started out in the penalty box, now facing a tough defense. Spanky and Terror Smackdoll up front for Varsity. Finally, Miss Saya looking like she got the stuffing beat out of her. She is wincing a little bit.
She got mugged on the way through there by the Varsity blockers, and she just pulls up her knee pad, skates around, and is about ready to have another go.
Oh, big Spanky coming across with his shoulder check, and Miss Saya not a happy camper, as we used to say in grade school, I think.
Yep, she looks really, really tired. She really needs a break.
Do people still say that, happy camper?
She's definitely not a happy capper. I would definitely say that.
But Miss Saya coming through for another scoring pass.
And she does the start pass to Crusher Ramon as well, because she's definitely had enough. Crusher Ramon in the pivot role.
She got banged up seriously by the Varsity defense, but Crusher Ramon is going to push it through to the end of the jam. Looks like, yes, 3 points for Varsity.
Okay.
But Nikki Napalm holding up 3 fingers. I don't think that's the Hunger Games salute. I think she's actually expecting 3 points for Murder City, but I don't think she's going to get them. So the score right now.
I think she did, because the other ref came across and added a point as well. So we're on a 111 for Varsity against 146 for Murder City at this point. We're at almost a minute left to go in this bout.
So things are looking very dim for Varsity, very good for Murder City, and up Snooty the inside
Fox.
Lane, Snooty Fox. This may well be the nail in the coffin. She's got lead jammer Joe Dirt starting out in the penalty box, just now coming out. And there goes Snooty Fox on her first scoring pass. It slams into Little Red, bounces out of bounds, but comes back in clean. Dodges past Miss Meow, runs into Beverly Bone Crusher. Little Red gets back in front, and Miss Meow, last-ditch effort with the shoulder, but Snooty Fox is going to complete the pass, call off the jam. She's got 5, and nothing for Varsity.
It looks like we've got time for another jam.
Definitely, yes, we do. More than 30 seconds remaining on the period clock before that jam ended. So definitely another
getting
jam.
Our money's worth here, thanks to the call there. So don't forget, we've got more Derby action coming up your way very soon. And certainly we want to say thanks to all our sponsors as well. We've got Green Monster, Hellcat Clothing, Suitcase Photography, Radar Wheels and Faster Skates, as well as Haig's Chocolates as well. So we want to just give credit to all our sponsors for helping us put on this wonderful event, the Great Southern Slam 2014.
So this is the last jam. Period clock has expired, and we've got Block the Pussy, lead jammer for Varsity. Sam Jam Witch, the jammer for Murder City, recycled all the way back halfway to turn 2. Comes back in. She's behind Wickedly Wild, but Block the Pussy moving in jammer lap point position, potentially 5 points, but Mustache. There you go. Mustache making a last-ditch effort, but gets sent spinning by a counter check from Block the Pussy and a grand slam for Varsity. Sam Jam Witch for Murder City still in the pack on her initial pass. Gets knocked down by a hip check from Wickedly Wild. Someone got a penalty, a low block. But it's against Crusher Ramon of Murder City. So Sam Jam Witch knocked down this time. It looks like it was Cherry Bomb that did the deed.
Got a minute left to go in the jam, and Sam Jam Witch still hasn't done her initial pass.
And second scoring pass for Block the Pussy up the inside lane, just avoids Nikki Napalm. Nikki Napalm trying to reel her back in turn 2, but can't quite make it there. A counter check from Block the Pussy sends her to the ground, and it's a grand slam number 2 for Varsity. But now Sam Jam Witch has completed her initial pass.
Have the blockers done enough for Varsity to reel things in?
That's scoreboard right now showing 151 to 121. So Varsity still with a significant deficit and less than 30 seconds remaining in the jam. Block the Pussy approaching the pack, but looking like she's a little winded, not as quite as quick as she was going in the first 2 scoring passes. Now immediately knocked out of bounds by Candy Rush. Comes back in clean. That was mustache screened aside by Wickedly Wild, but she catches up to Block the Pussy and gets her revenge.
Out. The clock's finished. Sam Jamwich salutes the crowd as she comes past.
It is going to be a nice jam by Varsity to end out the game, but Murder City coming out ahead, and 4 more points means from Sam Jamwich on that last scoring pass. That's going to be right now the unofficial final 155 for Murder City, 125 for Varsity.
And the referees are just over conferring with the scorers just to make sure everything is kosher. The Murder City girls are saluting themselves. It is a beautiful thing to see. And the Varsity team are also just giving their own little post-game debrief there going on. And the Murder City girls are doing their skate around, high-fiving the crowd to say thanks a lot for coming out and watching and for your support as well. Looks like some of the Murder City girls actually got a little bit ahead of themselves doing the high five before the rest of the team were ready to join in. So we're going to see a little bit of an unusual salute. But the Varsity team coming around, high-fiving the crowd to say thank you very much for all of their hard work. It's all official, folks. The score 155 for Murder City Roller Girls and 125 for the Varsity Derby League. It's been a really exciting start, Bulldog, to this first lot of Division 2 bouts. There's only more to come, guys. If you're interested, stick around because we have coming up for you on this beautiful Sunday on Track 2. We have a couple of teams. We've got to work out who they are for you, but one of them is, I think, from the Northern Territory.
It's Sis versus Riss.
Okay, that's always good to know.
Good thing I was here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the Motor City girls are finally doing their proper lap of honor, high-fiving the crowd.
I've got a South Island Sirens. Is it Sirens? Yes, Sirens.
Probably.
South Island Sirens versus the Rogue Sisters. And yeah, I believe that was from the Northwest Territory.
So, that's right. So that'll be coming up in about 20 minutes, guys. So if you want to stick around and watch it on the YouTubes, please do so. It's nothing but excitement here at the Great Southern Slam Division 2 for the chance to enter the quarterfinals and to make their way towards the championship. It is an exciting day to be here in Adelaide.
Yeah, and we've got a whole series of YouTubes for you today.
Lots of YouTubes. Don't forget to also check out the Track 1 action as well if you've tuned in for the live stream today on Track 2.